I've just moved to the beautiful, bustling city of Highland Point with one single goal: become incredibly wealthy by ruining the lives of everyone here and getting them all hopelessly addicted to my illegal substances. Bud, crystal, pill, slappy, gasoline, horse fluids, you name it, I'm pushing it. But in order to hook this town as suckers on my product, I'll need to build an optimized empire fit with dealers, suppliers, chemists, launder thousands of dollars, all while avoiding constant police shakedowns, run-ins with the cartel, earning a net worth of over $10 million, and harder than all that, try not to get this video demonetized. I 100% did Schedule 1. The game starts out as I wake up from bed. Whoa! Woke up next to the Zaza, you know what I'm saying? Wait, am I in an RV? Yes, I had woken in my RV home, parked in the driveway of our sweet Uncle Nellie's. Morning, bud. You guys get it? But it was time to get started with our day and start harvesting that Mary Jane plant I've been growing in my RV. I take out my clippers and snip the 8 buds that had sprouted. Then I take those buds over to my packaging table where I can drop each one into its own little baggie, giving me 8 buds of hash to sell. The work wasn't done as it was time to also start growing my other plant. I fill up my watering can in the sink and pour the water down onto the planted seed below. With my chores now all done, it was time to take out my phone and respond to all my customers' messages. Why am I taking all these zazzed out photos of everybody? Hey, I need 2X OG Kush. I'll pay $120. Dang, that's expensive for 1 bud? I accept Joe's deal, which I can then agree to meet him at one of the 4 time slots throughout the day. This guy can pay $60. What the heck? This guy was paying $60 for $120 for 2. Andy, what are you doing? This guy's paying $90. Where's the regulation? Yes, it was here that I realized that there are little to no rules in the world of drugs. A standard that I was determined to break down by acting as ethically as... Oh, what was that? In just 10 hours of gameplay, I would be selling gasoline-infused methamphetamine to a pregnant mother? Oh, okay, never mind. Lack of regulations is actually awesome. But before we head out, we need to check in again with our uncle. You're heading to town for some deals. Do you mind grabbing something for me? Got business with some fellas staying at the hotel. Tell them you're here for Nelson's package. No need to pay anything. If you're looking to pick up supplies for yourself, just throw them on my tab. Cheers, buddy. Feel free to take my truck. Wow. Yes, Uncle Nelly truly is the kindest father figure one could ask for in a story like this. The Joel to our Ellie, the Mufasa to our Simba, the Woody Allen to our... Wait a second. I drive into the town using our uncle's pickup truck. I probably shouldn't drive down the middle of the street, but I'm driving a flatbed. From everything I've seen on the road, this is how they drive. Are there turning signals in this car? No, it doesn't seem like it could. I arrive at Serena Flats and hop out of my car where I can find my first customer behind the gas station. I hand him 2 nuggets of OG Kush and he hands me the payment. No tip? Joe, I don't think you need more. Yeah, I think you're good. I make the rest of my drop-offs, but while I'm taking my last one to Doug, he tells me that his friend Chelsea, spelt in the most egregious way I can imagine, wants to become a new customer of mine. When trying to attract a new customer, in order to hook them and turn them into a permanent client, you need to give them a free sample of your product. Chelsea lights up her free Mary Jane and then heads back into her job in the hospital. Truly our nation's finest. From there, it was time to head into the hardware store and grab some soil for my next batch of Kush. But on my way out, the cops nail me down for a body search. Luckily, I'd already sold all my illegal supplies, so I'm clean for now. But I know you and your uncle are up to something on that ranch. The fuzz is onto us! You better watch your back. And you should also watch your back if you don't subscribe to my channel. Yes, that is a threat. I 100% tons of different games across my channel, like Plants vs. Zombies, Hollow Knight, and one time I even lost my mind and did Cookie Clicker. So if you're looking for consistent, long-form videos to listen in the background while you message Tinder matches that will never chat you back, it's time to click that subscribe button so you can get my videos more often. I head to Nelson's supplier who gives me some OG Kush seeds, as well as some weird red pills. After that, it was time to head home and check in with Uncle. Evening, you get on in town? Okay, whatever you say. Dude, Nellie's been hitting the saw. After Nellie's stroke, it was time to head over to plant our new Kush seeds and then head to bed for the night. What's going on? Yo! Oh no, we're cooked. We're cooked. What do we do in this situation? Oh no, it's over. You're just gonna drive? They got Nellie! Oh my god, I had to abandon Nellie. Uncle Nelson, no! Dude, no. He was so good to us. Uncle Nelson, you're a small-time drug dealer from the South, in a fresh town with no cash, well, I have $270, no product, and no contacts. You only know one way to make some money. Time to get to work. And with starting over, it was time to change our appearance. You know, we couldn't have the cops connecting us back to Uncle Nelly. So I had to create a brand new persona. Someone discreet, someone sneaky, someone the police would never ever guess could possibly be a drug dealer. Yes, no one will suspect a thing. That's my guy, Timmy Two Leaves. Oh my god, why did I make him look like this? He looks like Shaggy, I just realized. Tried to make him look like a potted plant. Oh no. Alright, whatever. I open up my phone where I've received a message from a mysterious UN telling me to go to the nearest payphone in town. Talk to Un. What, they got Reggie Rock in here? Yo, okay. It's Nelly! Oh, UN. How did I not figure that out? I'm such a moron. God damn. Good to hear your voice, buddy. Looks like our luck finally ran out. The feds have got me locked up while I wait for a trial. Glad to hear you managed to slip out, though. Maybe you shouldn't say this over the, line inside of the prison. Back before I moved to Serena Flats, I used to live out there in Highland Point. Not the nicest town around. Plenty of opportunity for someone in your line of work. Wow, Nelly, I wonder why they caught you. Memory serves, I got some cash stash out there. It ain't much, but it'll be enough to get you back on your feet. I head around town and pick up Nelly's 3 cash stashes, giving me a total of $370. Okay, head back to the RV. What the? Was that my RV? No. No way. No, don't tell me my RV exploded, bro. No! No! Oh my god! The weed! Welcome to Highland Point. This is our territory. Don't interfere. Uh-oh. Oh, there's another drug dealer here. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, how did they already find my RV? I've been here for like 20 minutes. Jesus. Well, crud, that's not ideal. It's not. There's a powerful... Dude, why would I move here then if there's a cartel here? That's the worst place I could go. There's a powerful cartel in town, the Benzies family. With the RV gone, Uncle Nelly tells me that we should post up in a local motel for now. I head over, and the woman up front charges me $75 for the week, which is like an absurdly reasonable deal. Oh my god. The room is by no means glamorous, but it'll work for now. And with that, I head to bed for the night. Before I head to the hardware store the next morning, I make sure to deposit all my cash into the ATM, as stores in this game will only accept card, never cash. Honestly, this would be like the perfect opportunity to just like turn my life around. I don't have any equipment. I'm starting from square zero. I have no connections. Like, I could just like get a job at like anywhere in this town. Like, I understand when you have the supplies, like you might as well, but now's the time to realign ourselves. Especially when there's a drug cartel in town. But I mean, what would the fun in that be? I mean, who wants to play a game about just moving to a new town and living a small, wholesome life? And I found 300 of them on Steam by typing in the words cozy and farm. Irregardless, I had to purchase a grow tent, a bag of soil, a watering can, plant trimmers, and 15 baggies from the hardware store, and then head out. Now that I've got all the supplies, I place the tent down in my house, pour in the soil, and I'm ready to start growing weed once again. One problem though, we have no weed. Lucky for us, Uncle Nelly has passed our name onto a local seed supplier who we can text to do a dead drop for us. I text him that I want 5 OG Kush seeds, which is the only type we can buy right now, and he says he'll place it at a drop box behind the hardware store. Unfortunately though, the drop won't be ready for another 2 hours, so in the meantime, we've got some time to kill. I use the rest of my funds to purchase myself 2 more grow tents, reorganize them all, and fill each one with soil. This leaves me with just $22 left to my name, which you may notice is not enough to pay for our seed dead drop. Luckily, dead drops can be paid off at any time. You don't have to pay when you order them, or even when you pick them up. So I can grab our precious Kush seeds from the drop box and slap them into the grow tents. Then after watering them, all that was left to do was to wait for them to grow. In the meantime though, all the packages I had opened had left a proper mess around the motel room. I can place all our garbage into the can, but it fills up. I buy a trash bag from the hardware store, but while I was shopping, I made a realization that I had gotten myself into an unfortunate pickle. You see, I had spent all my money on grow tents and seeds, thinking that once I sold it all, I would have more than enough money for anything I needed. Unfortunately, I forgot a crucial part of this process, bagging. Since I would need to bag each nugget before selling them, I would have to buy a packing station for a whopping $100, which is a bit of a problem since I only have 22 to my name. So I need to earn myself $88 more before I could flip my weed. But luckily, I have a way out. There are these little cans around town that say cash for trash, and if you put a piece of trash inside of them, you'll get a small payout. So I bag the full trash can inside my motel room and see how much it sells for. Yo, $13, we are rolling in it. But with my motel room now cleaned up, the only source of trash I had was just random stuff from off the street. So it was time to just painstakingly carry them back to my trash can, one by one. I knew the drug dealer lifestyle was never going to be glamorous, but I didn't think it was just going to be picking up used cigarettes off the street for 60 cents. They must have cut that part out of Breaking Bad. But I discovered my saving grace at the hardware store the very next morning. Here I could purchase a trash grabber for $25. This is a portable trash bin that I can use to pick up tons of trash at a time, and then just dump all that into the cash for trash bin. This thing turned what genuinely would have been an hour-long grind into just 5 minutes. Now I can afford to buy a packaging station, use my trimmers to cut the nuggets off my newly grown pot plants, and then throw them into bags. Each plant makes 8 nuggets, leaving me with 24 whole nuggets to sell. I can then open my phone and go into the product manager app, where I list them for $38 a nugget. 0%. Is there any weed that's addicting? Meth? Wait, I can sell meth too? Oh my god, I thought this was just a weed seller game. Right after, I get a message from a Mick Lubbin who somehow got my number. 2 OG Kush, I'll pay $70 for it. Should I counteroffer? Let's counteroffer. How about you take 3 OG Kush? I'm gonna cut you a deal, but you're gonna buy more from me. I don't do that at all, and instead make him buy an extra nugget and charge him $5 extra per nugget. Though despite all that, our foolish little McLubbin agrees, and I make my first deal in Highland Point. I'd love to go and deliver it now, but the city has a police curfew every single night where anyone caught outside is arrested. So instead, I schedule it for the following morning, plant my remaining seeds, and then head off to bed for the night. Upon waking up the next morning, my next round of plants are ready to be harvested. After clipping those, I head out in front of my motel, ready to do my deal. Oh my god, it's you, Mick. What's up, Mick? Mick is awesome. There you go. All right, I got 130. Sick. I gotta complete 3 deals. Well, nobody's hitting me up. And despite having never made any connections in this town, tons of people seem to already have my number as I complete 2 more deals. I use this cash flow to pay off my supplier debt and then get another call from our good old uncle. He tells us that we need to expand our client list, which we can do by giving out free samples like we did with the zonked out nurse. The only catch is you can only give free samples to people you have a mutual connection with. The contacts app shows who's friends with who, and this will be incredibly important later on as there are certain people you'll want to connect with as fast as possible. For now though, I was just going around town handing out free samples to whomever happened to know my current clients. Upon giving them a sample, there's only a chance they accept you though. There's also a chance they could not like the product you gave them, and you'll have to try again the following day. I look on the map and see there's a potential customer near the hardware store named Peter File, whom I recognize from his Minecraft videos on YouTube. Unsure exactly what he looks like though, I head in that general direction holding my weed nugget in my hand. However, the person I encounter is perhaps the furthest thing away from a new customer. Is this Peter File? Nope. Oh. I'm under arrest. Oh, no. Oh, I made a mistake. How do you get not under arrest? Oh, no. I'm wanted. How do you not be wanted? How do I make it stop? I got tased. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is this a dead end? Oh, no. I'm cooked this time, guys. Oh, crap. I went up to the cop and showed him my weed. Why did I do such a thing? Oh, no. No. Oh my god, I went up and showed him my weed like a moron. It wasn't even in a bag. It was just straight up out there. Okay, where do I go? No, don't steal a police car. You're already in enough trouble. Okay, my wanted level's going down. Nope, that didn't work. Oh, there's another set of cops. I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. Okay, looks like we're good. Holy crap, that was so close. Wanted dead or alive? Oh my god, they're shooting at me! This escalated very quickly. Honestly, with everything I know about police officers, I'm surprised it took them this long to shoot me. I end up hiding on top of a parking structure until they lose interest in me and I'm no longer wanted. Phew! That was way too close for comfort. In order to hide out from the cops, I realized that I had stayed awake past curfew, and it's like completely fine. Like, tons of people are walking around and some businesses are even open. Why would you open up a store during a city-wide curfew? Not one single person will come. It'd be like selling encyclopedias during an XQC stream. This town's meaningless laws aside, I realize that you're plenty free to walk around during curfew. You just can't be seen by the police or you'll be arrested. So after packing up some more kush in these bags I got from the hardware store, I head back out there to pick up a dead drop I had ordered. I can then plant all my kush seeds, schedule some deals for the following morning, and then nod off to bed. In just one day, I had earned nearly $500 and gone up 2 whole reputation levels. Yo! We hit street, we're at 3. Now we can get a jar, a PGR, and speed grow. Sick. After watering my plants, I head out into the streets to make some more deals. Currently, my goal is to earn $800. That way I can get out of the cramped motel and purchase the free room above the Chinese restaurant. I make sure to continue expanding my customer list as well. 63% chance, come on. I don't really like that. Dang. Come on, Peggy. I already gave her an offer today. Dang it. Okay. Because of my attempt to sell a cop weed yesterday, usually when people accidentally offer a cop drugs, it's because they were undercover and they get caught or whatever. But for me, I just offered it to a guy in full uniform. True brilliance from Shawnee Do as always. Because of my almost arrest, the fuzz has set up a frisk checkpoint on the bridge connecting the 2 ends of town, meaning every time you want to cross, you need to be searched. I do manage to finally run into Peter File though, tell him I loved his work on Impractical Jokers, and managed to recruit him as a new customer. After a full day of dealing, I'd managed to accumulate over $1,000, so I decided to order another dead drop from Albert. This time though, I had ordered from him enough times that he now offers me a second type of seed, Sour Diesel. Dead drops still have a purchase limit of 10 items though, so I grab 5 OG Kush and 5 Sour Diesel. I'm getting so many offers at this point that I start countering all of them, mostly just to sell more nuggets. So many people will message me just asking for 1 or 2 nuggets, and it's insanely annoying to go all the way across town for such a small deal. So I try to get everyone to to at least go to 4. I even start making some bigger deals where people start ordering upwards of 8 to 10 nuggets. Because of that, even with my supply purchases, I managed to accumulate over $1,000, and because of that, I can talk to Miss Ming about her open room. Of course, though, I need to first try and win her over as a customer with an OG Kush sample. Not interested. Alright, I'd like to buy the room though. 800 for the room, yes. And just like that, I'd become the proud owner of the tiny apartment above the Chinese restaurant. Guys, originally I played 3 seconds of that song in this video, but I got sued by the entire nation of Iceland. Seriously though, this apartment is way more spacious than the motel room, letting me massively expand my growing operation. Which meant it was time to pack everything up from the motel room and say goodbye. Goodbye, sweet motel room. For being a motel room, I could hear less fornication through the walls than I expected, which is the highest compliment anyone can give to a motel room. I placed down my grow tents back at the new room at the Fat Dragon and placed down a new set of OG Kush. Taking care of the plants actually takes a good long while every day, since each new plant needs a new batch of soil, a new seed, and to be watered sometimes twice a day. That combined with constantly going out to do deals is starting to make this operation way too overwhelming to run by myself, which is why I'm so relieved when Uncle Nelly gives me a call. You got a decent base of operations and a growing customer base. You'll be pulling in some proper cash now, but you need to help manage all your customers. That's true. Time to think about recruiting a dealer. Yeah, that would be really helpful. There's a guy, Benji Coleman is his name, I think. He'll be the first dealer you can work with. You won't be able to hire a dealer until one of their friends has recommended you. Benji's friends with Peggy, Beth, and Ludwig. Focus on selling to them until one of them recommends you. Yeah, this is the main reason why you want to be mindful of your customers' connections, as befriending the right people can unlock dealers and even new supplies for you to work with. I had to bed for the night though, where I learned that in just one day I had made $1,600. God dang, am I glad I ignored my moral compass and stuck with drug dealing after that RV explosion. Also hit Street Rat level 5, which unlocks tons of items that will be important later, but for now, the main one I care about is the electric plant trimmers. The next day is more of the same, just harvesting my plants, doing some deals, and recruiting new potential customers with the magic of OG Kush. You'll start to notice that even as I start cooking more and more complex products with insane side effects, for whatever reason, most people still just want OG Kush. Back at the hardware store, I had noticed I unlocked a new type of dirt, long life soil. This regular soil will last for 2 cycles as opposed to 1. However, it costs $30 as opposed to the regular soil's 10. I mean, I get that you're paying for the convenience, but seriously, $5 extra per cycle? What a ripoff. After pouring my better and cheaper regular soil into my now 6 grow tents, I can split the batch of these 3 OG Kush seeds like usual, but also plant my first batch of 3 sour diesel seeds. I realized that if you do deals during curfew, customers will actually give you a curfew bonus, which can sometimes make doing nighttime deals worth it, but it rarely outweighs the annoyingness of having to deal with the constant cop surveillance. I have a deal with Chloe that night, who Nelly said was friends with that dealer, Benji. So to try and get closer to her, I decided to throw in an extra nugget absolutely free of charge. Hey, my friend Benji Coleman is a dealer and can help you move your product. You should go speak to them. Nice. Benji actually lives right next door to our old room at the motel, so I head over there and knock on his door. You want to work for me as distribution? Yes! There's a $500 signing fee, and I'll take 20% of each sale. Jeez, okay, that's rough, but fine. Yeah, I don't really have much other choice at this point, as I'm completely unable to keep up with my current amount of orders that I'm getting, so I say yes to Benji's leech deal and hire my first ever dealer, giving me an achievement. That night, upon sleeping though, I learned I had leveled up to Hoodlum rank 1, earning me the mixing station, as well as unlocking a new area of Highland to start selling in, Westville. Yes, while there's tons of people walking around Highland, you're only able to give free samples to people who live in areas you've already unlocked selling in. Each area has 10 plus potential new customers, a dealer, and a supplier, so leveling up as fast as possible is crucial. With Benji now hired and helping with deals, I can spend more time at home growing, so I buy 3 more grow tents, as well as the electric trimmers, which make harvesting my plants much easier. I can use them to harvest my first set of sour diesel, which I can then finally list on my site. How a pot dealer has a website that anyone can log into and see a comprehensive list of all the illegal contraband they sell and isn't immediately arrested? I will never know. With all that packaged up, I can drop the product off with Benji. The way dealers work is that you have to assign specific customers to them and that they deal to. However, each dealer can only handle 8 customers, so there's still 4 left over that I'll have to manually do deals with still. I'm sure there's some optimal way to distribute the customers so that you have to do the least amount of work for the most profit, but I have no clue what I'm doing, so I just slap random names on the list until he's filled up. Through leveling up, I had acquired a new type of packaging container, the jar. These hold 5 nuggets as opposed to the one that baggies hold, and still stack up to 20, meaning a full stack could hold 100 nuggets. There is a downside though, in that you're unable to separate out the nuggets, so you can't like give 3 to one person and then 2 to the other. However, they still have 2 big uses. Firstly, for customers with larger orders, and secondly, to give to dealers. Dealers have this mystical power where they can do what no man has done before and do change with the jars, selling 1 nugget out of the jar and instantly wrapping the other 4 in baggies. How does Benji do it? I don't know, and if I'm being honest, I'm a little scared to ask. Benji manages to make this first ever deal though, which means means it's time for another call with Uncle. Benji's up, you should be able to move a good quantity of product. Now it's time to start manufacturing and selling higher value product. I notice you can buy different weed strains. Yep, already started. But you can create even more unique products with a mixing station? That seems bad. In a mixing station, you can mix products with special ingredients, create new mixes with unique effects. Chili powder stoners! Rise up. Customers will pay more for these products. To get started, go purchase a mixing station from Dan's Hardware. After that, you want to grab something to mix with your weed from the local gas mart. This was the exact moment that I realized that this was not going to be a simple, funny meme game, but instead a complex web of possibilities where I'm spending hours upon hours trying to figure out the best possible mix to my weed. Should I mix Red Bull and then donuts? Or donuts and then Red Bull? Does it even matter? Should I even bother mixing at all? Tell it to me straight, Uncle Nelly. Should I be putting horse semen in my mouth? But all that would come much later. For now, I pick up my first batch of earnings from Benji, a whopping $550. Pretty good for not doing any work myself. The next morning, I harvest my current batch of plants and then realize I unlocked a new seed type, green crack. I order an even amount of all 3 seeds, then head down to the hardware store to purchase some large shells. It may come as a shock, but the hardest part of this game isn't avoiding the cops, it isn't dealing with zonked out customers begging you for another hit, it isn't even the emotional weight on your conscience as you come to terms with the fact that your very existence has torn apart the lives of countless families. It's actually inventory management. The stack sizes for most items is pretty small, so staying constantly organized is a real struggle. In order to fit them in, I've got to shift around a ton of furniture in my apartment, but I eventually land on a setup I like with this little hallway of grow tents. It also makes space for my next quest, the mixing station. In order to use the mixing station though, I'll need mixing supplies, so I head to the local gas station and grab some things that I feel like would improve the quality of the weed. You know, donuts, painkillers, and Viagra? Wait, they sell over-the-counter Viagra here. What is the vibe of this city? They allow you to buy prescription drugs over the counter, but the whole town is under constant police surveillance? There's no one to clean up the layer of trash covering the city, but the roads are always in mint condition? Where are the taxes going? Irregardless, I head home, and the next morning I can try out my first ever mix. All right, so let's take some OG Kush, take some Viagra. Well, this is calming. Let's do refresh. You're refreshed and in the mood. So what do? Put that in there. Put this in there. Start. Since I'm just making one nugget, it only takes 5 in-game minutes or 5 real-world seconds. And then, boom, a completely new type of pot created. And since I formulated it myself, I even get to name the new strain. Now, what would be a good name for a drug that combines the refreshing sensation of sour diesel with, you know, what Viagra does? I'm gonna call it Chillin' Chub. There you go. Let me put you onto some Chillin' Chub, man. That's gonna get you on Mars. With my first original strain of weed created, I had completed another of Nelly's quest and could talk to him once again. Trying different mix recipes and be able to make some seriously valuable products. You know, everything you need to get yourself established. I'll call you later when you're ready to start manufacturing some harder stuff. Yo, what? Talk to the real estate agent, talk to the dealership manager, talk to the mechanic. And those goals are just more than future aspirations. Like Uncle said, for now it was time to just get myself established and solidify my empire. Starting with something I'd been neglecting until now, moving merchandise into the Westview section of town. Hey, I can only approach you from the front. Meg, an interesting free sample. She likes sneaky, slippery, and thought-provoking? Okay, just have the regular marijuana, man. I don't know what you want me to say. Sneaky, slippery, thought-provoking. It sounds like freaking Jay-Z's verse in Monster. Goblin ghouls, thought-provoking. Jessie is freaking bugging, man. She's tweaking. Oh, she's got like tattoos and stuff. That makes sense. After recruiting some new customers, the client list has gotten so large that I'm needing to order constant dead drops for new grass seeds, and eventually my supplier Albert takes notice. We've been working together for a while and we've proven to be quite reliable. If you need to order larger quantities of supplies, you can organize an in-person meeting with me. Just send me a text. Oh, nice. On my way over, though, I'm found by the cops, but luckily I've discovered a new flawless strategy to evade them every time. They'll never expect me to be in here. Okay, good. Hidden in the dumpster long. Holy crap, that was a close one. Made some good money. We're a Hoodlum 3! Sick, extra long life soil. The next morning, after tending to my crops and cooking another batch of Chillin' Chub, it was time to go pick up my first batch of seeds straight from my supplier, who said he'll be posted up outside the mayor's house for some reason. There's a supplier. Oh, hello, Tobus. I gotta go. I gotta go. Yo, he's doing it right behind the freaking mayor's house? Meeting with the supplier in person lets me buy as many seeds as I want, meaning I'm no longer restricted to just getting 10 at a time. I had also unlocked the final type of Kush, Granddaddy Purple, so I make sure to buy my first 10 seeds of that. Back at home, I plant the Granddaddy Purple and then try experimenting with some more weed mixtures. For this one, I try out OG Kush and flu medicine. Aspen Death. $58. Sedating and bright-eyed. Cool. Unfortunately, I can't rename it now, which is a real shame, as I think Night Kush would have been perfect. I also learned about a new feature in this game. You see, each day ends at 4 a.m. But you don't like pass out or anything, time just stops passing. To me, it seemed like this was like an infinite time at the end of each day where you could perform your tasks unbothered. But in reality, no time-based events will occur, like your plants growing or people reaching out for deals. But your resources will be used up, like water. In essence, by not sleeping before 4 a.m., you are massively wasting your own time and putting a pretty harmful kink into your production line. The next morning, I harvest my beautiful-looking granddaddy purple and go to start recruiting new customers when I stumble upon a man named Keith. He says one of his favorite effects are tropic thunder, which is thankfully present in my Chillin' Chub, so it's time to hand out my first ever sample of it. But after he lights it up, something indescribable happens. That's crap. Dude, he pissed... What the heck? What the frick just happened? What the... What? What? Dude hated my weed so much he turned black? What? What? What the hell? Oh, maybe it's like a Tropic Thunder reference, because that was like the ingredient I gave him. Like with Robert Downey Jr. Yes, it was here that I learned that products you give to people can have insane side effects, and eventually with enough products dealt, the entire town will barely look human anymore. But for now, I was just going around dealing them some relaxing grass. Even Miss Ming was addicted now. After picking up some cash from Benji, I had accumulated a whopping $6,000. Oh yeah, we were rolling in the big leagues now. I tried to use all my fresh capital to do a giant online order of soil and baggies, but it looks like the apartment above the Chinese restaurant has no loading dock for the delivery truck, meaning I have to go to the store like a normal person instead of like the loaded drug dealer I am. I head to the store the next day and not only pick up supplies, but an upgraded packing station, the Packing Station Mark II. Alright, so how does this work? Take my granddaddy purple, here's the packaging. Oh, I see. Wow. Oh my god, this is a lot easier. Not only did the upgraded packing station no longer require me to drag the nuggets into the packaging, but it also boots them over into the holding container. I cannot express to you how much more efficient this one is. Like, dear god, this shaved off hours of time packing. Now with the packing station 2, there are basically two schools of thought. You could spin the baggies to the left and have plenty of time to drop the nuggets in the bag, or you could go freaking nightmare mode and spin it to the right. Everything moves so fast, the baggies always get stuck, and it's usually a complete disaster. So safe to say, I always spin it to the right. While making a deal that day with Meg, I get some insane information. By the way, my friend Shirley could hook you up with... Pseudo? The heck is pseudo? Now order pseudo, the main precursor ingredient to methamphetamine. Oh my god. Hi, I'm Shirley. I work in pharmaceutical business. I'm heard you've got a nasty cough. If you're in need of some pseudo, I'm your gal. I want to order a dead drop. Yo, we could start making meth. Yo. Oh, sick. You know, I kind of thought there would be a little like escalation in this game. Like we start off selling weed, which is like legal in many places across the US. It's used for medical purposes, pretty low stakes stuff. Then I thought we might move on to like prescription meds or maybe like party drugs, but nope, straight to crystal. Straight from I have back pain to I'm going to chew someone's face off. With all my new capital, I decided to finally take Nellie's advice and go over to the car dealership and real estate office. They're open. Okay, I want a car. Give me a car. Talk to Jeremy. Welcome to Highland Auto. I want to purchase a vehicle. What model are you interested in? I don't have enough money for anything besides the crud box, so let's go. Ray, I would like to purchase a business. What? Which property are you interested in? The bungalow, the barn, or the docks? Okay, I'm not sufficiently ready to purchase any of those. Which business are you interested in? I could purchase a laundromat? What does that do? What does purchasing a laundromat do? Can I like set up shop up there? Should I save up for the car or should I save up for a property? I should probably save up for a property. How much did you say the bungalow was? Like 6K? I bet if I checked in with, Benji, I could afford that tomorrow morning. I do an exchange with Benji, pick myself up the special ingredients I had ordered from Shirley, and then head to bed for the night. All right, Ray, I need to purchase a property. I want the bungalow. Yes, that's fine. Yes, okay, we got the bungalow, guys. I also would like to purchase the skateboard because I am running around a lot, I'm finding. Oh, forget it, I'm sorry. I'm a landowner now, okay? I got stuff to worry about. All right, Jeff, what's up, home dog? I would like to buy... Oh, I need cash. Okay, that's fine. Do it with me. All right, I'd like to buy a skateboard. Cruiser, lightweight, cheap. Dude, I'm gonna buy the Cruiser. Let's do it. Here's my board. All right, how do I ride this? Yo! Yo! Is this really any faster? It's a little faster, at least. Dude, I just realized how ridiculous I look skating around town. Green hair, looking like Shaggy. Dude, he can never just coast. Where's the bungalow? The only bad thing about the bungalow is it's so out of, like, the way. It's out in nowhere. Oh, this is my bungalow? Yo, this place is sick. What the hell? Buy this place for $6,000. Yo, this is tight. This is cool as heck. Yo, there's a whole room back here too. This is so much bigger than the restaurant. Okay, it's time to get moving. Time to get planting. Here we go. Perfect. All right, let's put a shelf right here up against the wall for all our seeds and otherwise. Oh, this place is way bigger. That's nice. But despite all the fun that moving into my massive new apartment brings, there was one thing that I would miss. And so I journeyed back over to the Fat Dragon to say my goodbyes to Miss Ming. Miss Ming, you want to buy a skateboard? With my goodbye now sent, I pick up my remaining supplies from my old apartment and skate on back to the bungalow. Can I ride this upstairs? Nope, can't even get over the sidewalk. Hold up, Benji. The man in charge wants to say hello. My boy. I need my earnings. And also, yo, Benji, I'm not done, Benji. Benji, my boy. Need to trade some items. After supplying Benji with some more product, I head over to the bungalow to finish organizing. The back room is going to be where I grow all my Mary Jane, while the kitchen will be the packing station, and the living room where I store it all. After planting some more product, I make a huge realization. During text negotiation for sales, you can actually change the product you're selling altogether. Like if someone texts you asking for OG Kush, you can just straight up say, no, you're gonna have Granddaddy Purple instead. I think the reason for this is like everyone in this town has like limited experience with drugs before. And if like that's the reason, then what the heck was the cartel even doing here? Like, have people ever even heard of pot before? Who were they selling to? Do they even sell drugs at all? Irregardless of the kitten mafia we're seemingly dealing with, I spend the night using my new Galaxy Brain counteroffer strategy to make tons of money. I mean, I had just bought the bungalow today and already had like $1,300. I do the deals at night though for the extra bonus income and find an even stronger strategy for avoiding the cops. Oh my god, I was being chased by the cops and I slept. Epic move, honestly. Yep, if the fuzz is chasing you, if you just sleep, they choose to stop, and you wake up the next morning a free man. This actually works in real life too, because everybody knows they can't try a sleeping and awake man for the same crime. That's double jeopardy. I had leveled up the previous night and could now purchase soil dispensers as well as sprinklers. When I set them up at the bungalow though, I realized that they have to surround the grow tents on each side, meaning I'll have to completely redo my growing room. In typical Shawnee fashion, I decide to push that off, and for now, I look at the connections map and set my sights on a new goal. See, in Westville, there's actually an additional dealer that I'm able to recruit. I just need to befriend her friend Jerry. Alright, Jerry I need to become good friends with. Oh, crow. Oh, okay. Ooh, that was close. Alright, Jerry I need to become good friends with. So, I'm gonna give him his Chillin' Chub, and guess what? Just as a little added bonus. Yep. Hey, thanks, my friend Molly Presley's a dealer and he can help you move your product. Let's go. Molly, let's go. Do you want to work for me as a distributor? I'll be your dealer, but there's $1,000 signing fee and I'll take 20% of each sale. All right, I gotta go to an ATM. On the way to the ATM though, I get distracted doing a product deal and think that my client is behind this mysterious red door. Oh, maybe you're down here. Can I come in? Oh yeah, boss man told me about you. Come in. What? What's this? Boss man told me about who? What? I can buy weapons? Looking for protection, you come to the right place. What do you sell? Melee weapons, blunt and sharp firearms. How did boss tell you about me? I don't even know where I am. What's this? Oh, nice, thanks. If you need special equipment or supplies, Oscar has what you need. What kind of stuff you sell? Special equipment and supplies? Well, you said that. But like, what kind of supplies? Plastic pot. A special metal pot with moisture preserving functionality. Soil will lose moisture 40% slower. That seems really good. Yo, this is the stuff. Lab oven. Guess that's how we start making meth. Simple LED grow light emits a purple light that stimulates plant growth 50% faster than halogen. Must be placed on a suspension rack. Alright, I gotta come back here. This place is awesome. Yeah, this place was supposed to be unlocked by an event later on in the story. But the game is still in early access, so I guess I was just able to just like waltz on in. I never look a gift horse in the mouth though, so I decided to buy 10 suspension racks, 10 moisture preserving pots, 10 LED grow lights, and 10 long life soil. And so with my new upgraded pots, it was time to say goodbye to my grow tent. You served me well, tents, and ruining the lives of countless individuals in this town. Each Kush pot is gonna need a suspension rack above it, as well as a sprinkler and a soil dispenser. So I line them in front of and behind the pots so I can still access them in rows. Bro, this does look like a drug operation. You can't, like, before it's like, oh yeah, some plants. It's like, bro, this looks like a drug operation. I finish off each suspension rack with an LED light, which will increase the growth of each plant below it. Then I just slap some soil in there and my brand new plant growing room was completed. I got tons of product now, so after a full day of sales, I've got enough cash to officially bring Molly onto the team. And what a boon she would be, as Molly would go on to be far and away my best dealer. Always making huge deals, moving product like crazy, and yet somehow never leaving her house. She's an enigma to all, but I'll never complain. Alright, let's put you on the people here who are like always wanting stuff. Jesse, McLubbin, Miss Ming, Trent. Dude, like, how often are some of these people even buying? After assigning 8 customers to Molly, I was left with just 6 remaining for me to do deals with, which was a huge load off. Basically, all I'd been doing since I unlocked Westville is running around all day doing deals, only having time to make the slightest optimizations to my setup, but now, with Molly on board, I should have a lot more time to focus on my true passion, money. I mean, making products my customers will enjoy and enriching the community. Oh my god, you can see it leak my light. LED lights leaking out the side of my house. Oh my god. Oh my god. It really does look like a weed farm in here. I mean, I guess that's exactly what it is, but with so much more time now at my disposal, I decided to start messing around with the mixing mechanic more, this time combining green crack and Viagra. This is energizing from the green crack and also mixed with Viagra. We'll call it the poke. Definitely not going to explain that one. Dude, look at poke. The poke is 100% addictive. Way better than Chill and Chub. The nice thing about using mixes as opposed to the original product is that they sell for way more. Like with just one single ingredient mixed in, the poke sells for $20 more than the original green unmixed nugget did. Also, I was under the impression that Uncle's tasks in the top corner were just like, hey, you're gonna eventually need to talk to the car dealership guy, as opposed to something to progress the story. As upon talking to the final of these money sink men, I unlocked the next link in the story, that black market shop I had already visited. You the new guy in town? Yeah, I'm Manny, I'm the local fixer. You looking to hire workers? You talk to me. How much does it cost to hire someone? Depends on what sort of talent you need. Cleaners and packagers are pretty cheap. Botanists a bit more, and chemists are the most expensive. Dang. Bonita, I want to hire somebody. Very important. Are you looking for a cleaner? Picking up trash, emptying trash cans, planting, plant maintenance, harvesting. Handler, packaging, moving items, chemist. I want a botanist. Where do you want them? I want them at the bungalow. That'll be $1,000 signing fee, and the employee's daily wage will be $200. All right. Yo, what's up, Nelson? Oscar will sell you everything you need to make meth, with the exception of pseudo. For that, I got pseudo. You got it. I don't know any pseudo suppliers, so you're on your own for this one. Open up your yeah, I already got a pseudo supplier. We need to cook, Jesse. The reason I couldn't afford that botanist, though, is because I had spent all my money on the Mixing Station Mark II for $2,000. But it was super worth it, as similar to the packing station, this is a gigantic upgrade to the regular mixing station, no longer having to load the ingredients manually into the pot at all, cutting out the work the mixing station usually has. The next morning, I pick up the cash from my dealers, which gives me enough money to hire my first ever employee, a botanist named Nancy. Botanists are obviously supposed to tend to any and all of your crops in the house, but like the boss man said, they're gonna cost $200 each day. In order to manage employees, you have this clipboard you can use to tell them what to do. This, of course, breaks the Shoney UI rule, in which any menu more complicated than the Pokemon fight screen completely breaks my brain. So I'll save you guys all the headache of having to watch a grown man figure out how basic clicking works and explain the clipboard. Using this board, you can assign which pots the botanist will work on with a maximum of 8. Then you need to tell her where she's going to get the supplies from, like the soil, the seeds, the fertilizer, etc. Then you need to assign her a bed for which to sleep in. The last step is to assign a location for all the crops to be brought when they're done. With all that set up, Nancy gets to work and starts managing my plants for me, only there's one problem. No, she was not. You don't need to water it. You need not water it. Yeah, no matter what I tried, I could not get Nancy to use the sprinklers, and she instead just chooses to manually water everything herself. And look, I could sit here all day and get all bent out of shape trying to reformat the room, but I've got better things to do, like advancing past grass and using my newly purchased chemistry station and oven to combine the pseudo phosphorescent acid to finally cook some crystal. Combine ingredients into beaker. Stir the mixture. Wow, this is really easy, guys. I should do this at home. Start burner. Holy crap! So what happened there is that for this section, you're supposed to keep the cursor in between the green lines. And if you don't, you blow yourself up. Guys, also, I can't believe I'm reiterating this, but please do not do anything I do in this video in real life. Seriously, you'll get hurt. This is all just stupid jokes. Okay, thanks. I need to say that. To preserve space, this time I decided to turn the apartment above the Chinese restaurant into my crystal den. Okay, and then put the phosphorus in. Then we gotta stir it up. Stir it up. Do not kill ourselves this time. Do not kill ourselves this. Oh, no. No. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ooh, okay. How does this work? Oh, okay. Now it's just cooking. How long is that going to take? 7 hours. Jeez. Yeah, crystal supply takes much longer to cook than even it takes your plants to grow. So we won't be selling much anytime soon. Because I still have the sprinkler set up in my back room, I decided to put Nancy on taking care of the extra grow tents to double my crop supply. As taking care of these mostly automated pots isn't a huge time sink for me. With that cooking up and my crops being harvested, it was finally time to seriously dip our toes into nugget mixing. I was determined to turn my simple homegrown nuggets into some of the most profitable and addicting substances possible. And so I buy a ton of different different ingredients from the gas station. Chili, beans, Viagra, painkillers, donuts. I'm taking the Super Mario movie philosophy here, that if I just throw enough recognizable things into something, it's gotta make me money. Today, I'm going to be creating a concoction like nobody has ever seen before, and this is going to truly change the game, okay? We're gonna need 10 Granddaddy Purples, 10 Viagra, 10 acetaminophen basically, 10 mega beans, and 10 donuts. Guys, this is gonna be like nothing else you've ever seen in your entire life. First, we gotta put the big bean in there. This one's just called Island Fuel. This one's 57, but it's not important. I'm just gonna call it Perpin bean. We're never gonna sell this, okay? We get the Perpin bean. Put the Perpin bean in with the Viagra. Yes. Now, I don't want that. This is gonna be called Perp, Bean, and Bone. Take the Perp, Bean, and Bone. Put them donut in that. This is gonna be like nothing else you ever seen in your life, guys. And then I'm just gonna change just selling OG Kush and whatever I'm about to make here. Calorie dense, pink gold. Done. Take this out. Boom. You put that in, and you throw in the last thing, the acetaminophen. This is gonna go insane, guys. Boom. Now, wait, did that actually go down? Hold on. This is at 82. Okay, it went down. Okay, we won't add that next time. Okay, learn my lesson there. It actually went down in value. Okay, I'm just gonna call this mistake. Mistake. All right, I made a mistake, clearly. Everybody knows that. Let me get my clippers out and try this one again. Because we had a good combo so far. It was sedating, it was foggy, it was tropic thunder. Let's try this one again. Let's just do it with one this time, though. Learned my lesson. Before starting out on a new mixing journey, it's time to harvest any liquid crystal we got from the chemistry station and throw it into the oven where it'll need to cook for another 6 hours. I also buy a ton more supplies to try mixing it into the nugget to get the most profitable outcome I can imagine. I try out tons of combinations with soda and energy drinks and chili peppers and so much more until I finally get my finest combination yet. Bio Stink and 2 more. This is my finest work yet. Calming, sedating, sneaky. I'll call it 7, like 007. Unfortunately, despite the lovely 7 over doubling the price of the original nugget, it was also made with like 7,000 ingredients. And I was determined to make something that was not only insanely profitable, but also cheap and easy to mass produce. But to get there took tons and tons of failed attempts. The banana cookies. Hairy Smegma. Okay, that's pretty high in value. Whoa, Granddaddy Fuel. That seems good. And then you finish it off, throw in the Viagra. This is gonna create the thing. This is the one. This is the one. I can feel it. This is the one. Stinky Queen. Still, nothing can beat 7. Nothing can beat 7. I took so much time to do this, but it's going to be so worth it once we figure this out. So many failed experiments until finally I concoct a godly mix. All right, Red Bull plus green crack. Ultra Gruel. Then you put some chili pepper in there. Okay, California Gruel. Then you throw the Viagra in there. 86! That's pretty good for pretty cheap. It's literally just Red Bull Chili Viagra. That's super good. Dang, that's way better. I'm gonna call this one Energizing Spicy Bright-Eyed Tropic Thunder. Got Viagra in it. I'm gonna call this one the Sandler, because it's got Viagra in it, and it keeps you up. So when you take it, you're gonna be having 8 crazy nights, you know what I mean? And using just 3 ingredients, I had created a nugget that sold for over more than double the original price. My magnum opus, the Sandler. But I wanted to create one more additional mix for those who didn't like the effects of the Sandler. For this one, I take a Granddaddy purple nugget, mix it with a donut, then a green bean, a box of motor oil, and finish it off with some painkillers. And this creates a work even finer than the Sandler. Oh, yes! That was a success! This is gonna be our other one. What do I want to call this thing? It's sedating, it makes you sneaky, it makes you slippery. Wacky Zacky. No. Something that sneaks up on you, and it's bloated for no reason. It has all these calories for no reason, and it puts you to sleep. I would call that... Oh, I got it, guys. I think this is going to encapsulate all of those themes. This one obviously has to be called Bear with a Gun. Bear with a Gun. All right, those are our 2 money makers. Screw everything else here. Fat Pillow, get out of here. While Bear with a Gun does take 1 additional ingredient, it's worth $4 extra. Not sure if that's particularly worth it, but it's always good to diversify your portfolio. It's the same reason I've invested $70,000 into both OpenAI and a crew of underpaid workers to burn down the Amazon rainforest. Both do pretty much the same thing, but one's a little bit quicker. And asking price, they're suggesting 90. I'm gonna list this for $120. I changed my storefront to now only be stocking OG Kush, the Sandler, and Bear with a Gun. That means I can stop growing sour diesel altogether and just focus on the other 3 seeds. The only other thing I'll be selling for now is my unmixed crystal that I was able to pick up from the oven. From here, my days would start morphing into pretty much the same thing. Pick up from my dealers while dropping off some new product, harvest my plants, package the OG Kush, mix everything else, and then shoving in as many deals as I can manage. Finally, we haven't even started yet. Alright, enjoy your 2 Sandler. Oh my god, her head's on fire! Why, what does the Sandler have in it? Maybe spicy? After about 40 more minutes of this, I had ranked up to become a female and unlocked the downtown region, opening up 10 new customers as well as 1 additional dealer. I make expanding here my top priority, giving out free samples of my more high-quality Sandler and Bear with a Gun, which makes it much easier to convince people to throw their life away to drugs. Not only had these 2 strains been great for recruiting customers, they've also been massively profitable, as they've essentially doubled my income, and very quickly, I realized that I've got $9,000 in cash on me. In fact, I have so much cash on me that when I go to deposit it all into the ATM, I actually hit the weekly $10,000 limit for depositing cash into an ATM, and am prompted to give Uncle Nelly a call. Looks like you've reached your weekly deposit limit. To avoid rousing suspicion, you can only deposit so much cash each week into ATMs. If you want to convert more cash to online balance, you're gonna need to start laundering. Oh my god, dude, we're going all the way. Holy crow. Laundering involves using a legal business to conceal the origin of your less than legal cash. First things first, you need a business. Go check out Raise Realty. You're probably not going to be buying out the casino anytime soon, but there should be a cheap business for sale. Oh my god. Let's go to Raise Realty. Let's see what he's got. What's the worst that happens? Property. The barn is $25,000. Jeez. What about a business? The laundromat. All right, let's buy a laundromat. I own a laundromat now, I guess. Cool. Now I can launder money. That's funny. Wait. We're laundering money at the laundromat. It's like the least subtle thing possible. Laundromat. All right, sick. How do I launder money here? Manage business. Oh, you can just launder $2,000 a day? This business is already at maximum laundering capacity. That's it? That's all? This is the entire laundering operation? Oh god, it takes 24 hours to launder money? Jeez. Do I also make money from like the business? No, is this just a laundering money scheme? Okay, whatever. Either way is fine. I just, like, should I be expecting income, or? Yeah, I kind of thought we would, you know, have to actually run the laundromat, but no. The building is just constantly empty, with no machines running, but somehow makes $2,000 a day. I mean, if the government even looks into our electrical bill for a second, they're gonna instantly know we're running a laundering operation. But it seems like the government is nowhere to be found here. I mean, suppliers are literally posting up right outside the mayor's house, and no one seems to care or notice. I'm doing so many deals now that getting a movement upgrade is an absolute necessity. And so I trade out my old stinky regular skateboard for the sweet delight that is the golden skateboard. Oh, and I got an achievement. Sick. Does this one go any faster, or is it just golden? Oh, that's much faster. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, the golden skateboard is so absurdly fast that the rest of this playthrough, I never even bother buying a car. It's way easier and faster to just roll around on the golden skateboard and not even have to worry about where your car is all the time. This thing is a godsend and an absolute must. Seriously, if you ever play this game, which you absolutely should, get this as soon as possible. With the operation expanding into a completely new neighborhood, I was feeling overwhelmed, so it's time to hire some new employees. And with that, I completely redo my plant growing room to accommodate all my new employees, now setting up 24 pots, 8 for the 3 types of pot I'm growing. I also realized it's way easier to just have shelves with the side facing out, making them way more space compact, especially with all the new beds I need to now throw down in the bungalow. I've got 3 botanists to manage all my crops, as well as a chemist, but soon realized that their abilities specifically are incredibly limited, and you basically need a mover for each chemist you have, making it really not worth it for me right now. Instead, I just hire a mover on his own, as he's able to move the finished OG Kush and package it for me, as well as move resources to the mixers for me to mix on my own. With all those employees now working, pretty much everything else is automated, and all I really need to do is mix my Sandler and Bear with a Gun, and try reaching out to new customers. Most important of which is Eugene Buckley, as he's got a connection to a new dealer in the area. To really drive home the point, I give him 5 of the Sandler at a $200 discount, and that somehow is not enough to convince him to connect me to the dealer. In fact, it's not even enough to get him to a neutral opinion. Jesus, it's so much harder to appease these non-addict folks. Besides that, I am cranking out plants now. I mean, just look at how much pot I have in my inventory here to pass out to dealers. I head back to Eugene the following day, and this time sell a bag of OG Kush for just $1 single. This is finally enough to win over the Buckley affection, as he introduces me to Brad Cosby, my 3rd dealer. He asks for a $2,000 signing bonus, as well as the standard 20% of each deal. That's obviously a no-brainer, so I agree and pass him out some supplies. I try to assign him customers that are constantly hitting me up, but only order small doses, like Doris Lubin, who always needs just like 2 OG Kush nuggets. On my way home though, I'm made by the cops and do a standard jump in the dumpster technique. Oh crap, I got arrested! No! The dumpster plan failed me. Busted. Crap. I didn't think I had much anything. Paid $180 in fines, violating curfew, evading arrest, 3 possession of low severity drug. Yeah, I only had 3 drugs on me. Okay, whew. Well, that wasn't great. Luckily, I didn't have too much on me, though, for the fuzz to take. A few hours go by of just doing deals and re-upping my employees. I even managed to recruit the Big Lebowski into my customer circle. Everything was going pretty well with my weed production, but with me nearly being able to afford a new, larger property, I knew it was time for me to just move on to bigger and better things. This operation had become too large to just be selling grass. It was time to officially dip our toes into the crystal market. But with how overwhelmed I was with all the daily deals I was doing, I was gonna need help. I was gonna need someone dark and twisted. Someone who understood the world of meth better than anybody else. My girlfriend, who one time cried because she thought she did her taxes wrong. Yeah, this game's actually multiplayer, and since I was trying to get this video out so close to the release of the game, Tuesday was kind enough to step in as my little drug peddling Igor. And she truly embodied that role in the character creator, as her player character looks like a coffee barista who's addicted to bath salts. Don't go that way, don't go that way. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna be the chef. I get Tuesday set up in my old apartment at the Fat Dragon and teach her how to make crystal by herself. And now that I'm actually doing this, I think I severely misunderstood Tuesday when she told me it'd be romantic if we cooked together. The main thing I'm gonna have Tuesday be doing is testing out a new formula for our crystal. All the experience I had gained unlocked tons of new options for mixers, so there were countless paths that we could go to find what's most profitable. So while I handle everything else, Tuesday can just be sitting in the Fat Dragon, just throwing random items into her crystal batch. She starts off pretty strong with just taking standard crystal and adding Adderall in. That already skyrockets our profits to just over $100 per product. Yeah, crystal is way more profitable than weed, so if we could get the right mix, this could skyrocket our profits. After much testing, Tuesday finds a mix that sells for a whopping $161. Crystal plus Adderall plus horse semen plus a donut. Horse semen and donuts? Call it ring toss. Alright, that's a candidate, so put that on a separate shelf so just we know, like, okay, ring toss is pretty good. And as good as ring toss was, we knew we could push it further. We knew that if Tuesday spent enough time grueling over the smoking hot mixing station, we could find something even better. And after a few more tries at formulating, she had done it. A single piece of crystal that would sell for over $193 by adding just 4 ingredients, selling for over double what even Bear with a Gun was worth. We had cracked the code, and all that was left was to give our creation a name. What's in it again?
I put in crystal, Adderall, horse semen, chili, and magic beans.
Horse cum and beans.
Jack's beanstalk?
That's pretty good. Jack's beanstalk. And just like that, we had cooked Jack's beanstalk, our magnum opus. 100% addictive, foggy, spicy, electrifying, and long-faced. And with that, Tuesday set her eyes on a new goal, cranking out as much of the beanstalk as she possibly could. With that being produced, we were entering a new era of the Shawnee Doo drug empire, and so it was time to step up my game. No longer was I just a stoned out loser sitting in an RV handing out nuggets to people. With all my employees, my new mix types, and now expanding into crystal, I had become a full-on drug lord. So it was time to give our appearance an upgrade. There's a barbershop as well as a clothing store near the laundromat, so I could find the perfect look to match our empire journey. Yes, now we looked much more refined. Gone were the baggy green clothes we started with as we evolved into a much more classy appearance. The journey here was not without struggle though, as Mr. Leaf had been under so much stress from the constant cop searches, cartel encounters, and lippy customers that he had started to go bald. And with that, I finally had enough money to purchase my next operation-based upgrade, the barn. But first, I needed to optimize the bungalow. You see, my thought was that chemistry tables take up much less room than the whole pot setup needed to grow weed, so I could turn the bungalow into the head of my crystal operation. But first, I'd need to clean the back room up, and my god, was there a lot of cleaning to do. Each crop batch had left behind leaves, soil bags, and seed casings. Though this is actually sort of a blessing in disguise for me. You see, there's an achievement for putting over 500 items into those cash for trash bins that we were using earlier, and this was an easy way to start working towards that. Instead of going to the machine each time I filled up my trash picker-upper though, I instead just dump everything into one single corner of the room. Then when I'm done, I can just take a trash bag, bag up the entire pile, and throw it into the cash for trash machine all at once. This ends up me getting a single trash bag worth $140. Dang! I head back to the black market to pick up some supplies for the crystal setup, but on the way out... Oh no, I'm getting cuffed! No, not today. Oh my god, they tased me! I don't have anything! And I have no cash on me either. Haha! Oh, I had no cash on me, so I got nothing. So let's go. Life hack. Loophole. I set up some chemistry stations in the back room, but I have to do a complete shift once I realized that the bungalow can only handle 5 workers employed there. The other problem I run into is I have handlers set up to carry the ingredients of the crystal over to the chemistry table from a shelf. There are 3 ingredients required for crystal: pseudo, phosphorus, and acid. However, there aren't specific slots where each resource needs to go. And since I put all 3 resources on the same shelf, this means that the handlers will oftentimes put ingredients that are not right. Like when this guy placed down 2 things of phosphorus, completely halting all production until I came in and fixed it. This means in order for this to work, I'll need a different shelf for each ingredient. And since the handlers can only have 5 routes in total, this greatly restrains the automation of the setup here. Because of that, combined with the employee restrictions, I can only have 2 chemistry stations producing at once, which is a bit of a bummer. But with that all sorted out and the beanstalk being made there, I can head on over to Ray's Real Estate and purchase my most expensive property yet, the barn, at $25,000. The barn is set up all the way in the top left of our town, so it's completely secluded from everything like stores, my previous bases, or even any of my customers. Oh my god, is that the barn? Oh my god, this space is huge. Oh yeah, weed is gonna be popping out of here. And with that, it was time to hire some employees to get our new barn factory going. I'm broke now. But luckily, I had delegated Tuesday the bungalow manager, and she could make sure that we were pumping out plenty of beanstalk for cash. And with her promotion, she made sure to dress for the part just like I had. Okay, let me show you how this works. I did notice that despite listing the Jack's Peen, most people were completely uninterested in buying, preferring to stick to the OG Kush instead. So it's then that I get an idea. I want you to bag all that meth, and currently like all of my customers, they're like really into weed and stuff, right? But meth is like 60% addicting, and like we want to get them like hooked on meth, right? So if we can get them all hooked on meth, then they'll start ordering meth, which is worth way more than weed. It's almost double, right? So what I want to do is go around town and go up to all my customers and start giving them really good deals. Like sell them meth for like 50% of what it should be usually, and just sell them one thing of it. Like I said, then give people like stupid deals, because it'll say like how likely they are to accept, and just get it to be so that they 100% accept it. I don't know if this is like a thing in the game, but I know that like products are addictive. Yes, my plan was to do the patented Uber method, where you get a bunch of people hooked on your product for really cheap, and then once there's no other option, completely jack the prices to an absurd degree. I even have Tuesday start negotiating all of our deals to be for beanstalk no matter what. Doesn't matter if they ask for 1 single nugget of sour diesel. Today we're shoving straight life-ruining crystal beanstalk in your face. I love these people are like, can I get some weed? And I'm like, would you like to buy meth? Hey man, I've got some bad back pain. Hook me up with some weed, man. You ever try meth with horse gum? We're still making bear with a gun. Oh my god. Got hit by a car. People drive like crazy out here. Probably all the meth that we're selling. While Tuesday works on that, I can start setting up the Mary Jane production farm up in the barn. Once again, I try to place down 32 pots, as that would be exactly enough for 4 botanists to handle. I go to buy some large shelves so that I can organize where everyone's pulling from when... Oh, crud. I didn't mean to Oh, crap. I didn't mean to punch you, dude. God dang it. Ugh, now I have to go somewhere else. I was just trying to get my shelves. I eventually get a row of shelves set up in the corner, and I just want to point out how much I love that you can physically see what's on every shelf. It makes restocking and organization just so much easier. Even though the barn is far from set up, I make sure to put my hired botanist to work immediately. That way, by the time it's done, we've got tons of product to process through the pipeline. I have 1 botanist focus on 8 pots of green crack, 1 8 pots of granddaddy purple, and finally 1 to just focus on 8 pots of OG Kush. I don't currently have enough cash to afford my final botanist, though. Oh my god, the cops are outside my house. My god, they're just waiting there. Are they searching my house? No. That would be really bad. They're just flaring their lights on the inside of my house. Oh no, they can't be coming in. Oh crap, this would be really bad. Dude, I'd rather them find me out than... Okay, I'm under arrest. Alright, that's fine. Let's get these guys' attention. I think the cops might be stuck. Luckily, I was right, and this is just a complete visual glitch, as this game has no home searches that you ever need to pass. That is a huge relief, because I have absolutely no idea how I was going to explain what's going on in the bungalow. There's a half-naked cowboy running around with a clipboard demanding that chemists throw more horse juice into a mixing table. Maybe the cops are right to detain me, as soon after I commit an unspeakable crime. Oh my god, did I kill him? Oh, thank God. I thought I killed Brad. That would have been bad. Not the ATM right outside the church. That is hilarious. I need a ton more mixing stations to finish up the Sandler and Bear with a Gun setup in the barn, but unfortunately the hardware store near my new home, Handy Hanks, doesn't sell the mixing station Mark II. So until I can manage to catch the black market in the 2 hours that they're open, I'll be riding with the regular mixing station Mark I. For this setup, I'll need 7 different mixing stations, 3 for the additives in Sandler, and 4 for the additives in Bear with a Gun. This was the point in my recording journey that the game is like 10% funny drug selling game, and like 90% employee management simulator, as I spend hours trying to route out the proper path for these stupid nuggets. From shelf to mixing station, but oop, now I don't have a packager to deliver chili peppers to the mixing station. And oop, now there's no one to find jars in the back shelf to go to the mixing station, and my botanist can't get to their soil because the storage rack is full because this chemist hasn't moved in 45 minutes. Not to mention, rebuilding the barn is expensive. But lucky for me, I had been sending Tuesday out on constant beanstalk deals to reinvigorate my capital. Babe, please, I just need $700. I promise that I'm gonna get everything back. It takes me a good long while to get the barn set up back up, and most of that time is just trying to figure out my employee plan. The main change I made was massively downsizing the amount of product I was producing. I sized down from 32 pots to just 16. 4 for Granddaddy Purple and Green Crack, then 8 for OG Kush. It's not worth it to produce so much product because you end up with so many nuggets that the chemist can't possibly process them all quick enough. After a few good hours of optimizations though, I had finally done it, and the barn was operating extremely smoothly. Well, extremely smoothly for Schedule 1 standards, I should say. Most of your time in this game is dedicated to fixing the errors of your employees, so really I'd be hard-pressed to call it automated. Your other main task once employees have sort of taken over is just ordering constant deliveries, as you're needing to restock on jars, mixers, seeds, and a myriad of other supplies. And for whatever reason, you can't have your packagers unload your packages from the delivery truck. Having an employee called Packager who can't help at all with packages would be like calling Smash players deodoranters. For all the nights I had to stay up trying to organize the barn, I had advanced to a high enough level that I unlocked a new customer map, the docks. And so, with the barn finally finished, I could spend my day trying to hand out free samples to the people of the docks. And first up on that list of conversions was Cranky Frank. Wait, guys, I just realized that Cranky Frank is supposed to be a reference to Crazy Dave from Plants vs. Zombies. Like, they both even wear pots on their head. That's insane. How is meth? Maybe like weed better. Okay, you're a weed guy. Because you're so cranky, I get it. Yeah, Cranky Frank. Okay, so for the docks, what's our plan of attack? Because we need to get to the next dealer. So, Cranky Frank, maybe we give him some free stuff so we can unlock Melissa Wood. Be potential. Oh, Melissa Wood is already potential. Are you Melissa Wood? No, you're Peter File. Melissa Wood. Melissa, can I interest you in a free sample? What? 34% chance. Come on, one. Come on. Yes! See, people don't like meth when they first try it.
They hear about it, but then once they try it,
They're like skeptical on it when I say I'm gonna give them meth, but then like they're like, hey, this is actually pretty good. Are you in this casino?
feel really good about the next one.
Okay, last one. Okay, no more gambling. Okay, one more. Did you see what I changed the bet to? If I lose it all. Dude, we doubled it! This gambling stuff easy. But unlike gambling, which is super easy and will always end well for you, befriending Melissa Wood was anything but. As every time I try to make a deal with her to increase our friendship level, I'm squarely rejected. Not right now. Why? You're just working at a casino. You're allowed to smoke in here. In fact, she ends up being so hard to befriend that I try and go the actual other direction around the circle to get to the dealer. Because Melissa is just that annoying. Come on. No, why do you keep saying no? I was gonna give you like 4 buds for free. You're lost. On the bright side though, with Tuesday's help, the operation had escalated to earning over $12,000 a day, meaning that we're having to constantly launder at the laundromat. Before, I would just do it whenever I happened to skate by, but now it was crucial to do every single day. All right, please tell me you want to buy something. Yes. 10. That's a huge amount. $60 for 10. Come on. That's gonna up our relationship. No, not enough. You're joking. Neutral? Gave you like $400 weed for $60. Dude, this Melissa woman, what is up with her? Melissa, you want to buy something? This for $5, not $1. Oh, yes! Oh my god, dealer unlocked. This is huge. You want to work for me as distribution? There's a $3,000 signing fee. Jesus. Let's go. Here you go. Here's some product. Get it moving. Yes, with my 4th dealer now in the streets, money was bound to just start pouring in. Now, for the next couple hours, I try experimenting with drying racks. You can use these to hang out your weed leaves in order to increase the quality. However, I quickly realized that increasing the quality of your product in no way affects the price, so I eventually just end up axing the whole project. The process is going great until I see that the entire production line has been stopped because one of the chemists has gotten stuck inside a mixing bench. Nick, what are you doing? Are you stuck or something? Come on. You're pissing me off. Oh! Susan, I need your help. Come to the barn right now. It's emergency.
Okay.
It's an emergency. Tuesday,
I'm coming.
I made a mistake. Well, Nick wasn't doing his work, so I punched him a couple times. And now he's dead.
Oh.
I just,
Oh my god. Yeah, put him in the dumpster.
Is he actually dead? Oh, crikey. Who's gonna make the sandler now? I think he's dead, Tuesday. I'm sure if I leave him in the dumpster, they'll just come and get him tomorrow morning. To my credit, he wasn't doing any work. It was annoying me. What do I do in a situation like this? Can I like put him in the weed or something? Oh, I know. I got it. I'm making the trash pile anyway. Just put him in the trash pile. Okay, I'm going to order a trash bag to try and scoop him up. And if that doesn't go well, I'm going to order a Viagra to forget about all my troubles. And then a gasoline. Okay. Nope, it did not work. Okay, that didn't go as expected. Oh, what if I put him in the cash for trash thing? He's got to be worth something, right? Oh, he can't go past my property, I see. Okay, I'm just gonna throw him in the dumpster and hope for the best then. Oh, wait, no, he's back. Nick. Oh, Nick. We missed you, buddy. We missed you. Production was going better than ever, and in fact, it was time to start expanding. I had so much cash coming in now that I needed another laundering location, so I purchased the post office. I don't know why all of the other laundering locations are like small, privately owned businesses that you could feasibly pass laundered money through, and this one is an official government organization, but I digress. I recruited a few more new customers before getting some absolutely great news. Yes, I know a guy named who can hook you up with cocoa seeds. That's sick. Yo, Sal. And with that, I can now order dead drops from the final supplier in the game, giving me access to the game's most profitable drug, Coke. While dropping the cash off at Sal's Dropbox, I realized that I could just place a bunch of cash in there. That way, I wouldn't have to come back here every time I wanted to order one. I could just continually put through orders for coca seeds with no problem. Before I step into the world of powder, though, I needed to first strain out my current world so that I had some money coming in while this all went down. And the first step of that was to work out my dealers. So I haven't really mentioned this until now, but every customer in the game has a certain standard. Like the very first customers we had very low standards, meaning they'll take any product you give them, while customers in the docks have moderate standards, and eventually in the final areas we unlock, customers will have high standards. Now, what differentiates the quality of the product depends on things like fertilizer, the drying racks, etc. The important thing is that with each customer having different preferences, I wanted to sort out each dealer and make sure all of their customers had the same preference. I also wanted to keep all of the very low standard customers to myself, as they'll just accept just about any deal you offer them. And so I give all the low quality customers to Benji, Molly, and Brad, and the moderate ones to Jane. After that, I had earned enough experience to become a block boss, meaning I had now unlocked Suburbia. But the standards here were high, so in order to inch my way into this territory, I was gonna need something unlike anything I've ever cooked before. I was going to need to create a godly mix that would change the very brain chemistry of anyone who ingested it. I was going to need to create the God Coke. I spent hours upon hours in the Schedule 1 drug planner trying to craft the perfect string of ingredients. Should horse semen go before Mega Bean? But if I do, then I won't be able to fit in batteries. How many sleepless nights would I need to spend in front of this planner in order to forge this? I restarted again and again and again until finally I had done it. I had created the single most powerful drug in the entire world. But first, I need to create the actual coca leaves. These grow the same way pot did. The only difference is that when you're done, you get leaves instead of the finished product. You need to put these into a cauldron with some gasoline. Then, once it's done, you move this new burned down batter from the cauldron into the oven. Then, after 6 hours, you have pure powder. And with that in our hands, it was time to go down the list in the 9 mixing machines and create the most powerful drug ever created. Soda, Red Bull, horse sperm, Mega Bean, Viagra, gasoline, soda again, Mega Bean again, and finally, batteries. And now, after 9 mixes, we have God Coke 687. And for a godly mix like this, there's only one thing I can think of naming it. Talk to... no, I'm just joking. No, guys, we should name it, like, after, like, a god. Like, because it's, like, a godlike substance. Like, I should go with, like, one of my favorite Egyptian gods. Guys, what do you think? I would, honestly, if YouTube would have demonetized the crap out of this video. I like Boom Boom, because it's the shit. But before I started distributing Boom Boom, I need to test it out myself. Whoa, what the heck's going on? Oh my god. What the heck? Dear Lord. Oh my god, I'm a monster. I can't even see anything. Oh my god. What is going on? Boom Boom got me somewhere else. Oh my god, Boom Boom has me on a different planet, holy crow. Yes, it's truly no wonder that Boom Boom would soon take over all of Highland Point when the experience with it was so euphoric. With the Boom Boom recipe now finalized, it was time to turn the barn into the Boom Boom room. And boy, did this take a while. I mean, I spent an hour alone trying to optimize the correct locations for all the game's shelves so that the handlers wouldn't have to travel so far. Eventually, the setup I go with is pretty simple. I want 16 coca plants, which means 2 botanists. They bring the leaves to the cauldrons. I've got 3 cauldrons and 3 ovens, which means 2 chemists, and then another 3 to manage the 9 mixing stations of Boom Boom. Finally, I've got 3 handlers. Handlers can have 5 routes, so 15 routes total. 9 of those are spent bringing ingredients to the mixers, 1 is bringing bags to the packing station, 3 are bringing gasoline to the cauldrons, and 2 are transporting the Boom Boom to its final destination. And just like that, I had created the Boom Boom factory. And even though Boom Boom has a market price of $687, I was pricing it at $750. And then through counter offers, I was getting it to $1,000 per Boom Boom every single sale. And it was raking people in. Every single person I spoke to in suburbia had one little sniff of Boom Boom and instantly became a customer of my almighty empire. Boom Boom had soon consumed all of my former bases, as the apartment above the Chinese restaurant was converted into a farm for making more high quality Boom Boom. You see, while the standard Boom Boom appeased most, my new customers in suburbia were not satisfied by it. They needed high quality Boom Boom. And so I need to be throwing coca leaves onto the drying racks to increase the quality to appease the Karens. The same fate befalls the bungalow as I convert it into a facility with 5 botanists, 24 coca pots, and 12 drying racks that I can just barely Tetris into this little home. I am the god of fitting things, the master of Tetris, the true Terratrist. Wait, that didn't sound right. With my new empire built, it was time to change my appearance once again, and this time, I became this guy because I think he looks funny. I was gonna do like a whole Heisenberg progression, like, you know, I've been building through this whole video, but then I just thought he looked like really funny like this. So, this is what he looks like now. I call him the grabber because he looks like he grabs things. After that, it was time to pay $50,000 to get the final base location, the docks warehouse. And this one is going to be pretty much exactly the same as the barn setup, so I'm not even going to bother explaining it. The docks, despite costing double as much and being much bigger, has the same employee limit as the barn, meaning you can't really get much more complex with your setup. Like, I wanted to have all these drying racks or multiple cauldrons or whatever, but nope, no such luck. Irregardless, I was now producing Boom Boom at double the rate. Also, I lied to you guys before, I did end up buying a car. It gives you 4 trunk space, which makes doing deliveries much easier. Our final hurdle was unlocked when I get enough experience points to hit Baron 1. This unlocks the final area of the game, Uptown. These customers not only have high standards, they've also got huge wallets, which makes them very important to impress. And thankfully for me, everyone was loving it. Even the mayor of the city had fallen under our spell and now became our customer. Come on. What? Ew, no? Bro, that's my best stuff. Screw you, I don't want you as a customer if you ain't like that. Well, mostly everyone. For some reason, the manager of Thrifty Threads would not become my customer no matter how much Boom Boom I gave her. With that all set up and every customer in the game recruited, except one, we now had the best money source possible in the entire game, and all that's left to do in terms of progression was just make Boom Boom. So it's about time to knock out the rest of those achievements. Now, most of the game's achievements I had just earned through natural progression, like getting arrested, purchasing the golden skateboard, etc. But there were 2 giant ones left standing in my way, and one of them was just so evil that I can't even fathom, so I'm gonna start with the other one. This one says we need to dispose of 500 pieces of trash in the cash for trash machine. Now, I showed you all my initial plan of using the trash bags to bag up huge piles of trash. However, after doing this for a while, I get scared as the achievement says 500 pieces of trash. So I'm worried that the trash bag is only counting as one single piece of trash and not actually significantly contributing to my total. So instead, I buy like 5 trash grabbers and just stroll around the town picking up everything and anything I can, and then just dumping them all into the cash for trash machines at once. After a bit of time, I grabbed the achievement. Now, all that was left was to earn the final achievement, 10 million net worth. And dear God, why? Why did you make this go up to 10 million, Tyler? Why do you hate me? Don't you realize this game is not optimized to scale up to 10 million? It's not even close. Let's take a game like Stardew Valley, for example. That game also requires you to earn 10 million gold in order to buy the golden clock. But that grind is really not that bad for many, many reasons. But there are 2 main ones I want to touch on. The first is that you can sleep whenever you want in Stardew Valley, allowing the passage of time. While you sleep for the day, all of the activities of the day still happen, like your crops still grow and your kegs still process. Second, there are ways to make lots of money in that game. By using the cellar to keg ancient fruit wine, you can easily make millions upon millions of gold. And there's also something to that grind. You gotta find ancient fruit, then grow it, then put it in the seed maker to make more until you have an army of them. Then you gotta craft keg. You see where I'm going? The game scales insanely high. If you wanted to, you could put crystallariums on every non-NPC tile in the valley and pump out millions of gold in a week. Schedule 1, on the other hand, has ceilings to both of those things. You can't pass time by sleeping because your dealers only sell and your workers only work while the game is running. That means if you want to make millions of boom boom, you need to keep the game on at all times. Secondly, the ceiling for scaling your revenue is significantly lower in this game. There are a limited number of bases and you can't refine your coca further after mixing it. The most expensive coca mix only sells for $80 more than mine, and you're unable to list it for more than $999. And so the most I've ever been able to make in a single day is $80,000. $60,000 for my dealers and $20,000 for me. I've achieved this by changing the sell price to that $1,000 and then haggling all my deals to $1,500, which I still can't believe worked. Each day in Schedule 1 is around 20 to 25 minutes long, but let's just say 20. That puts me at $240,000 a day, which would mean this would take 33 hours. Now, normally that wouldn't really be that much, but on top of the already 60 hours I did, this would kill me. Not to mention, getting to 10 million is so boring. All you do is restock the shelves at your 2 facilities, just going back and forth all day, and it's not only stressful, but it's insanely grueling. There's no complete optimization where everything's just being done for you. It's just a complete babysitting exercise where you're going back and forth trying to fill shelves all day. Then at night, you schedule all your deals to get the curfew bonus, and then you just go straight back to bed. It is one of the worst grinds I've ever done on this channel. Now, you might respond to this and say, well, Shawnee, the game came out 10 days ago, and it's still in early access. Did you really need to play it for 60 hours straight to get to this point? And to that, I say, you're the one who clicked on the video where I 100% the game, not Shawnee's happy, unbiased game reviews. What am I supposed to say? That's what I do here. I really like this game a lot. It's actually one of my favorites I played on this channel. The game kind of stopped being fun after you conquer Crystal. This ended up taking 30 hours for me to finish, and that was with me getting some help. Yes, I could no longer bear this cross alone, but luckily Tabal, Scythe, and Prismac agreed to help me out. I taught them the ways of the Boom Boom setup, and they gave me a huge hand by making sure the shelves were always stocked at the docks and barn, and just making sure that production was always fully optimized and employees didn't waste time getting stuck or stealing bags like they sometimes do. So what did I think? Schedule 1 is a hilarious, really fun, perfect reward cycle game that I've enjoyed so much. Seriously, playing this with Tuesday is some of the most fun I've ever had playing a co-op game. But do not rush through all the content like I did. At a certain point, Uncle Nelly stopped calling me, and once he did, that should have been my telltale sign to stop playing. Thank you all so much as always for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!